class. Today I will be teaching about the topic nursing management of critically ill patients. This topic is for BSc third. So let us see with the introduction. Critical care nursing. Okay, like I've already explained in the previous classes, that critical care nursing, it is a field of nursing with a focus on the utmost care of critically ill, unstable patients. So this is a field of nursing where we have to really focus on the improvement of life of critically ill patients or those life-threatening patients. Okay, so we have to provide them special care and we have to improve their health status. Critically ill patients are those who are at a risk of actual potential life-threatening health problems, those who are at a risk of dying, okay, or any other health or threatening life problems. So we have to provide special care to those patients. So first, management in ICU. Okay, in critical care nursing, the first management is admission and orientation of the patient to the ICU. Okay, so after shifting the patient from OT or from any surgical ward or medical ward to the ICU, we have to orientate. We have to start with the admission process, and we have to orientate. We have to give information about the ICU to the patient. So first is orientation to the patient and the family members. So we have to orientate. We have to tell them that this is the ICU, and here we will provide special care to the patient. Okay, and ICU is a place where there is most of the critical care patients are being admitted in here, and we have to educate them about the visiting hours also. Okay, so there will be limited or restricted family visits. So admissions, quick check assessment in CCU. So this is just we have to check in the admission process. We have to assess what we have to monitor. First is the general appearance for consciousness, whether the patient is conscious or not conscious. Second is the airway. We have to check if the patency position of the artificial airway is normal or not, and if it is patent or not, if there's any loose connection or if there's any foreign object present, then we have to maintain the position. Next, breathing, quality, quantity of respiration. We have to check the rate, the depth, the pattern, symmetry, effort, the use of accessory muscles. We have to check the breath sounds, the presence of any spontaneous breathing. And circulation and cerebral perfusion. We have to check the ECG, okay, the rate, the rhythm and presence of ectopy. We have to check the blood pressure, peripheral pulses, capillary field test, skin color, temperature, moisture, presence of any bleeding. We have to check the level of consciousness and responsiveness. So these are some of the admissions quick check assessment in critical care unit. Then we also check the past, assess the past medical history, medical conditions, surgical procedures, any surgical history done before, any psychiatric problem or emotional problem, hospitalization, how many times the patient has been hospitalized, what medications has the patient taken, any allergies present, and to check the body system. So the physical assessment in ICUs, we have to check the nervous system, cardiovascular system, the respiratory system, renal system, gastrointestinal system, endocrine, hematologic, immune system, and integumentary system. So all these systems we have to assess for the patient. Then assessment of patient and planning of patient care. Okay, so there are three important components: know, we have to see, and we have to find. Okay, so what do we know? The medical history. We have to know the social history. We have to know the medical intervention. What injections have to be given to the patient? What are the procedures to be performed? All that we have to have knowledge. Next, we have to see the airway patency, the airway is clear or not, if there's any obstruction. Then you have to see the pallor, the color of the patient, whether she is pale, okay, then sweating, mental state, conscious, alert, hai ya nahi. Then you check the posture of the patient, facial expressions, and general condition. Next, what do we have to find? We have to find the respiratory care, adequacy of oxygenation, pulse. We have to find the BP, urine output, conscious level, monitor for changes in any of the above. So these are some of the three components for the assessment of patients and planning for patient care. Next, there are models A, B, C, D, E models. Okay, so this is easy to remember and to assess the patient when a patient is in the ICU. First is the airway. Okay, we have to check the patent, meaning that you have to check whether there is no loose connection, whether the airway is in the right position or not. So all that we have to check. Next is the breathing. We have to check the respiratory rate, circulation, the pallor, hemorrhage, any bleeding, disability. We have to check the altered conscious level. Then E is exposed to examine. We have to the unseen hemorrhage and the wound leakage. Okay, so remember A, B, C, D, E models. Next, the patient general medical history and severity of illness can be assessed by the patient's history, and physical examination to be done, and laboratory tests also should be performed. So once the patient is admitted in the ICU, these things we have to perform. Physical examination is very important, and the lab investigation is done. Next, provide physiological support to the patient and reduce the anxiety and fear about the ICU or the CCU environment, because patients, once they are in ICU, okay, they will be thinking, oh, I'm in a very, very extremely critical condition. So they will have fear, they will be anxious. So we have to provide physiological support to the patient. Next, maintain adequate tissue circulation and tissue perfusion throughout the body by providing oxygen to the patient. Okay, then maintain fluid and electrolyte balance. Close monitoring patients' vital signs continuously with attaching monitors. The vital signs should be should be checked, and there should be a cardiac monitor 24 hours on for patients who are critically ill. All medications are administered according to the ICU policy, and careful monitoring of the patient should be done in response to the treatment to check for any side effects. Okay, then support the activities of daily living and assist the patient to perform basic activities. So patients who are able to perform oral care, okay, brushing of teeth, or patient able to comb their hair or wear their clothes, then we can assist them. But suppose those patients who are not able to do these things, okay, then as a nurse we have to provide oral care, bath care, sponge care, okay, change their diapers, change the sheets, change the everything, okay, oral care, mouth care, okay, facial care, eye care, everything. Then for disoriented and anxious patient, there is a need for frequent orientation. Next, provide continuous monitoring of respiratory function, like such as the rate. We have to check the rate of the patient, the respiratory rhythm, SpO2, ABGs should be performed. Then perform and encourage the patient to do respiratory exercise. So some exercise we can teach the patient to perform, like deep breathing exercise, coughing, spirometry exercises, postural drainage to prevent any pulmonary complications. And the nurse always follow strict aseptic precautions, that is, sterile procedures should be performed while handling central IV lines or arterial lines or any catheter. Okay, so even the IV cannula, the urinary catheters, all these should be handled in a sterile manner. Then there is a flow sheet. In every ICU there is a flow sheet, ICU flow sheet we call it. Okay, so it is a well-organized flow sheet which provides round-the-clock information regarding the different organ systems. So this sheet, we have to document in every hour what are the BP, what is the temperature of the patient, okay, how much oxygen, FiO2 is required, or urine output, input, output, okay, everything. So the major categories appropriate for ICU flow sheets. So in the ICU flow sheet, there are some categories which are mandatory to document are vital signs, neurological status, hemodynamic parameters, ventilator settings, respiratory parameters, inputs, outputs, lab data, okay, with how much potassium patient is having, what is the hemoglobin of the patient, how much bilirubin patient is having. All these should be documented in the ICU flow sheet. And we have to what medications, injections, different column, and oral medications, different column. So it is easy to identify. Next, patients who receive sedatives and narcotics drugs, the nurse should be careful to monitor the side effects of these drugs. All activities which are carried out in the ICU should be recorded and reported appropriately. We have to control the hospital-acquired infection, or we call it as the nosocomial infection, okay, according to the ICU policy. Then to provide for continuous monitoring of the patient, we have to follow these. Okay, this is for continuous monitoring. Okay, those who are in extremely critical conditions, we have to continuously monitor the ECG, continuously monitor the vital signs, heart sounds, breath sounds, fluid intake, output, neurological status, power, bladder movement, skin integrity, nutrition status. And we have to continuously check for the pain assessment also, the level of pain. Next, patients who are under mechanical ventilator and endotracheal intubation, the nurse should give special focus on monitoring the patient status, okay, monitoring the ventilator state settings, prevent the complication, prevent infection, perform oral hygiene, suctioning should be done, position the changes, okay, you have to change the positions of the patient every time, because we have to prevent ulcers or bed sores. Next, eye care should be given to the patient and prevent any displacement or loosening of the tubes. So the tube should be properly in position. Next, frequent position changes should be done to prevent any pressure ulcers or bed sores. Each nurse will be responsible for the entire care of the patient and should act and coordinate with the other doctors, also with the physiotherapists or the dietitians also. Next, appropriate communication to the family members about the treatment, what procedure to be done to the patient, what is the prognosis of patient, how much recovery rate, what is the recovery rate, okay, and what is the patient's response towards the treatment. All these should be informed, should be educated to the family members of the patient. Next, all critical care patients will have mouth care done every 4 hours with inspection for oral skin sores to check if there's any ulcers. Then teeth should be brushed in every shift as needed. The environment will be maintained in a mechanically safe condition through there should be dry floors, good repair of furniture, proper placement of machines and equipment. There should be cleanliness maintained in the ICU, freedom from any clutter or sounds, and good repair of equipment. Next, as a nurse, you have to maintain the record and reports. Okay, apart from the ICU flow sheet, the reports and records data sheet should also the registers also should be maintained. So complete and concise reports and records are vital for the quality of patient in ICU. Each report and record will consist of complete details of the client medical condition, history, diagnosis, treatment, prognosis, etc. So such records like admission records, okay, like medication records, then every shift records by the nurse regarding the patient status, okay, then transfer report register, all these should be completed and should be filled by the nurse. So that was about the management of patient of critically ill patient in ICU, and this should be performed by the critical care nurse. So thank you, class.